Greetings all, this is the J-Man from Battle Sharks, and I'm here at the Battle of Natural Bridge National Historic Park, and today they're doing a reenactment, so I'm really pumped up about that. I was able to find a good parking space. I'm about an hour early. It's Sunday, March 8th.
No, just because I'm eating grapes and then it tastes like alcohol. I was wanting something sweet.
So this is a 3D printed copy of a shell found here at Natural Bridge. It was full of gunpowder and lead balls, so it was meant to explode, but we know that this particular one didn't. We know that because the pieces are too big and the fuse is still here.
Okay.
So this one probably hit a tree and broke apart before it had a chance to go off.
Yeah.
But the really cool thing is we mapped in where all three came from very carefully, and it turned out that they ended up making a nice straight line to point at the exact cannon that fired this ball.
Wow, that's really interesting.
So because we know exactly where they came from, we know which cannon fired the ball and more about the story of the battle, and that's what archaeology is all about. The thing might be cool, but we're after the story. In this case, the battle happened up here, and they're shooting off at a different angle entirely. Something else going on down that way that isn't part of the main battle.
Yeah. Do you know about when a lot of these items were found?
About 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
We did a very thorough metal detecting survey out here.
Yeah. And so over here, we've got a lot of different mini balls and round balls and different types of ammunition that was found here.
We got some cool things, like we found a couple dropped mini balls, which tells us, for example, that a soldier was standing in this exact spot.
Yes.
We also found signs that there was a rifle out here that shouldn't have been out here. It was actually decommissioned, I think, a couple years before the battle happened. Okay. So we think that we know that there's a Marine contingent part of the federal side, and we think that maybe they were still using that rifle, even though they weren't supposed to be by historic records. So we maybe got some new details from it, basically that way.
Yeah. In loving memory, 1861, 1865, Defenders of Natural Bridge, lest we forget.
So here I'm at a monument, lest we forget, and in a few minutes the reenactment's going to start. It's a little bit after 2 now.
A little drama. I didn't know you had to have one of these tickets for $5. I've got one, but now it's starting in 5 minutes, so I've got to hustle.
Anybody like earplugs? She's got so loud.
Thanks.
They'll play more for you during the battle. They've got all kind of period tunes they will play for you. Pipe and drum, real common during that time period. And the chief musician knows I like the Iron Brigade tune once in a while. She'll do that for me during the battle. On behalf of the Florida Park Service, the Natural Bridge Historic Society, FWC, the Leon Rifles Reenactment Group, the UDC, and other people I can't remember, I want to welcome you down here to the Natural Bridge Historic Site on this 155th anniversary of the battle. The anniversary was actually Friday. We're 2 days past it, but this is the 155th. You're actually on the battlefield here. This is the south end of the battlefield. This has been the right flank of the Confederate line, and the Federals were across the river in the woods across from us, coming from the east. Their left flank was over there. Now, most of the heavy fighting happened up at the actual road, at the actual natural bridge where they tried to cross the mass. But during the battle, they were also trying to flank the Confederates. They were probing attacks coming out of these woods, looking for a way around that natural bridge that wasn't quite as dangerous, and there weren't as many Confederates, so the battle did wander down this far. Remembering the time of the battle, there were over 1,000 men here fighting when you count both sides.
The captain is deploying skirmishers. Most battles start with one army skirmishers finding the other army skirmishers, and then as the young people say, it's on.
Keep it up.
fire, cease fire, resurrect, resurrect. What we're going to do, if you'll hang around just a second, what we're going to do is bring all the federal troops over here in front of you, all our boys from Florida. The militia will come around here, and the artillery has some salute rounds. General Jesse's going to talk to you for a second, and then we're going to fire a salute to the crowd. I hope this maybe gave you an idea in 35, 40 minutes of what a 6-hour battle down here really looked like. But are those guns loud or what?
Yeah.
Now that's about half the powder. That's about half what a real shot would be. They'd have twice that much powder shooting cannonballs. The muskets are using the charge that is prescribed.
Let's go past the general.
Had the short sky blue coats like that, and the old white leather. That's older period. This is later. Just what you're looking at, what they had down here in Florida in the 1840s and 50s. Yes, sir.
Sir, you give me a moment, I'll have my battalion loaded and we can fire the salute.
Very good.
I'll let you know.
Thank you for attending the 43rd Annual Battle of Natural Bridge. I have to admit to you that I was here for the first one 43 years ago. Things have changed quite a bit, and most of that has changed because of your support. Most of these changes have been because you attend this event, and we really appreciate you coming out.
Thank you. Can you hear the general? Up
And
here.
now we're going to give you thanks. It's going to be loud, so be ready. Brigades, ready!
Ready!
Fire by battalion.
Aim!
Hey!
Fire! Recover! R!
I have seen him in the watchfire.